Okay, I'm home, I just sat down, and I'm even making the video before I'm even calling my husband. I'm in complete fucking awe right now. And I'm on a lot of wavelengths right now regarding this. Because number one, this absolutely feels like it was advertised wrong. You know, like the previews to me feels like they were advertising as a horror comedy. Which, I mean, if you keep it on a surface level and you take it exactly for what you're watching, sure, it's a horror comedy. And I did laugh in a couple of places, I'm not gonna lie. But the fucking allegory just hits you in the face. It's like a wrecking ball. So overall, I kind of feel like this was advertised wrong. My second train of thought is the fact that I don't think it's fair that this one got a January release when January is pretty dry when it comes to movies. But also, the timing could not have been fucking better. Between the Baldoni lawsuit and what a lot of people are afraid of right now, you could not have paid for better timing. So welcome back, and once again, thank you for trusting me with your full spoiler movie reviews. That thing I do where I watch movies and then I tell you all about them. As always, I am unpaid and unsponsored. And spoilers, all the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, you can go ahead and scroll. I won't be offended. Spoilers. Okay, here we go. This is the 2025 film Companion from the creators of Barbarian. So if you've already seen my warning, heavy. If you haven't, Companion goes to domestic abuse like The Crucible goes to McCarthyism. Essentially, they give you just a story, but you've got to read between those lines. And I think they did it impeccably. But what's this about? So Iris is a sex robot, more or less. She's called a companion. You can make her do like house chores and shit. And mostly she's there for having sex. She belongs to, I can't remember his name. He looks like Rainn Wilson. I'm going to call him Rainn Wilson. They're going up to this fancy cabin in the middle of nowhere that's owned by this Russian man named Sergey. Sergey has a side piece girlfriend named Kat, and they're all friends with a lovely gay couple named Eli, and I think his name was Peter. I'm just going to call him Peter. Well, they get there, you know, everybody's meeting and whatnot. So they're partying the night before. They wake up the next day, and Iris is ready to go spend the morning down by the lake, and she tells Rainn Wilson, hey, let's go, and he's like, no, I'm too hungover, and she's like, but you said we would, and he's like, I know, that was before the hangover took over, and so you can go down there by yourself and do it. And that's when the side eye began. Because from the previews, we already know she's a fucking robot. Literally a fucking robot. But then I picked up, I was like, that's why he has to have a sex robot. This guy's already a douchebag. He was a douchebag the night before, too. But she gets down by the lake, she's sitting there looking around or whatever. And the Russian gentleman comes and sits by her next to the lake, and he's like, hey, can you put sunscreen on my back? And she's like, okay. So she starts rubbing, and then he grabs her hand and starts, like, coming on to her. And she's like, no. Then he's trying to force himself, and she hits him with a vodka bottle. He falls back, hits his head on a rock, and she's like, oh shit, and then stabs him. Well, she comes back in, and everybody's acting all frantic and shit, and they tie her up and turn her off. Well, Rainn Wilson turns her back on. He's like, I gotta tell her goodbye, and tells her about the fact she's a robot and how he can like control her and all that. And she's like freaking out, trying to get away because she doesn't believe him. Then he's going to talk to Kat, which was Sergey's girlfriend, in the next room. Come to find out Rainn Wilson and Kat were like planning to kill Sergey, and their thought process was to use a mod on Iris so that she would kill him, and they can just say his sex robot malfunctioned. Basically, they jailbroke the sex robot, and she killed a man. Accidentally, on purpose, so that they could collect all his money and run away. Well, Iris managed to get free and steal Rainn Wilson's cell phone, which he can control her through his cell phone, and take off in the fucking woods. And now Eli and Peter are involved, and they have to go find her, because Rainn Wilson and Kat offered them $4 million. And along this process, we find out that Peter is also a sex robot. He's an older version, and Eli actually fell in love with him. So it's a lot of them chasing her through the woods. She's trying to figure out how to go home. Well, Eli and Peter find her. Eli tries to shoot her. There's like a rough and tumble between Eli and Iris. Iris shoots him. So now Eli is dead. Rainn Wilson reprograms Peter, one, to be his sex robot, and two, he programs him with the same mods as Iris so that he can up the aggression and all that to track her down. In the meantime, Iris steals Rainn Wilson's stupid Tesla to try to go home and is using the voice modifications on her app to use as like his voice command. Well, then Rainn Wilson reports it's stolen, and so it turns off automatically, and then the sheriff appears, and the sheriff tries to arrest her, And then Peter comes out of the woods and kills the sheriff, and he turns off Iris and sticks them both in the trunk and brings them back to the house. So now we have 2 modded sex robots, Rainn Wilson and Kat. Kat's like, I didn't fucking sign up for this. So she's taking half the money and she tries to go out the door. And Rainn Wilson's like, Peter, stop her. And he kills her. So now it's just Rainn Wilson and the robots. So then Rainn Wilson has Iris's body like tied up to a chair a la Texas Chainsaw, right? And he's fucking around with her settings, setting her intelligence to 0%, where all she can do is like follow his commands. Makes her burn like the silicone off of her arm via a candle, and then she has to shoot herself in the head. And I think he thought that that's where her memory was, so that he can erase all evidence of him modding it and making her kill Sergei. But then the little engineering guys from her lab that Iris was created in show up to take away the body because he reported her as malfunction. And Peter's dressed in the sheriff's uniform, so he looks human, except one of the engineering guys says he looks vaguely familiar. But they leave out of the house and they're loading Iris up on the back of the van, and they're like, oh, he totally fucking modded. Apparently it happens a lot, and they've got her on charge trying to reboot her. They go to leave, fucking Peter's outside and shoots the driver. He's chasing down the other engineer, Teddy. He's trying to kill him. By this point, Iris has already been rebooted and she's going to fucking stop. She tries to get him with a cattle prod because it's electric, and he's like, your programs are reset, you can't kill me. And she's like, look deep down in your memory and you'll see Eli. To which he does, because Eli and Peter really were in love with each other, even if Peter was a robot. He puts the cattle prod in his mouth, and that essentially just like fries his computer chips or whatever. So Iris essentially saved Teddy, and then Teddy overrided her whole like system or whatever. So now she has free will. She is a sex robot with free will completely. And she's like, it's time to go kill this fucker. So they go back in the house, and he starts beating the shit out of her. He's got her pinned down, but then she's like, hey, go to sleep. And he gets penetrated into the brain with an electric corkscrew. It was fabulous. And now she has a couple $1 million and a cool car. The end. Do I even need to say that I liked it? I'm not going to waste my time. Yes, I liked it. I didn't know where it was going for about the first half of the movie. I was really worried, but it paid off in the end. Just be careful. Proceed with caution. 10 out of 10. Perfect movie award. Okay, bye.